There are two types of people. Some people give up. They don't want to overcome their fate, don't want to force themselves to live. Such people relieve their tension through entertainment. They relieve tension through various movies. That's in the best case, through computer games. In the worst case, through smoking. Even worse, drinking. Even worse, drugs. There are people who don't give up, but on the contrary, they are reborn. They improve, develop. Such people always relieve their tension only through asceticism practice directed at love. Love for nature gives a person health. Love for people gives social status. If you are not married, learn to treat people kindly, love people, take care of them. You'll become beautiful, sweep someone off their feet, and get married. If you don't have a job, learn to work with love for people. Not for money, but for people. And then you will become strong. If you take responsibility for people, you get power over them. This is also a type of asceticism practice. When a person is focused on people, gives their life and love to them, they become strong in society. Power in society means love for people. If a person doesn't love people, they will never be successful in society. Never. There's no chance. If a person has insurmountable obstacles in life, let's say imprisonment, debts, they are persecuted in life, they face persecution or some other difficulties, then they should love the Lord. They need an altar and prayer. Prayer removes obstacles in life, overcomes obstacles, defeats fate. A person must have these three types of power in life, otherwise they won't be happy. If you're sick, prayer won't help you. You need to love nature. If you don't have a husband, prayer won't help either. You need to love people. And if you have some obstacle in life, nature won't help you. You need to pray. Your questions. I've told you everything in general. Now we can delve deeper into this. Do we have a microphone? We need a microphone. While they're bringing the microphone, I'll tell you something else important. A person is born with the desire for happiness. We are born wanting happiness, and a person dreams, I want to get married, I want a good job, I want power, I want success, I want good health. This I want and dreaming indicates incorrect thinking or lack of knowledge, degradation. Look at how this world is arranged. In this world, the most powerful force is the force of time. What does this force of time do? The force of time removes, diminishes our happiness. It blocks subtle energy channels in our body, contrary to our expectations. We think, tomorrow will be better than yesterday. How are we set up? We think, tomorrow will be better than yesterday. In reality, time reduces happiness, but happiness is increased by asceticism practice. When a person performs asceticism practice, they force themselves to run in the mornings, force themselves to do static exercises, force themselves to fast. In this case, they defeat time. Such a person becomes happy. Happiness comes to a person when they work on themselves. Life is meant for asceticism practice, not for happiness. Happiness comes as a reward for work. But if a person just waits for happiness, I dream of a husband, I dream of a good job, I dream of health, then all of this will never come. This thinking is common for all people. They want happiness just like that, without making an effort. We want to believe in this so much. Happiness will come, of course, if you do something for it. Of course, you need to believe, definitely. You need to believe in happiness, but you need to work for it. Work, my dears. I've been doing yoga all my life, since I was 12. Then when I started spiritual practice, they talked me out of running and doing exercises. Why are you wasting time on this? Just pray to the Lord. It's degrading to live like this, they told me. I was 30 years old then. I believed them and stopped exercising. I did yoga all this time because they didn't cancel yoga for me. When I was around 50, I had such a case. I was running late for my flight to Riga. I was running from one terminal to another, and when I ran 500 meters, I started to get out of breath. I thought, I don't like this. I started running gradually. At first, I ran about 500 meters and was out of breath. Then I started running more. Now I've been running for 2 years. Now I can easily run 10 kilometers. I don't get out of breath at all. I could run 15 too. Sometimes I run 15, but I already feel that my body starts to strain. It heals well. About a year later, I was running late for a plane again. Again, I ran between these terminals, breathing normally, calmly. I realized that I had become younger. These people who say that you shouldn't run, they are wrong. These people are foolish. Even walking is worse than running because it's an unnatural way of moving. When a person runs, it's very easy for them. They don't strain. When they walk, they strain. Therefore, it's better to run. If you can't run, then walk. That's good too. Gradually, you'll start running. But if a person doesn't move for a long time, you need to move for a long time monotonously, and you shouldn't force yourself to run faster. Run as easily as you can and as you like. Such running increases life expectancy. You should do yoga the same way. Bend as much as you can and freeze in that position. Don't force yourself. And fasting should be done the same way. You should fast as much as you like. It's best to fast until lunch and then eat after that. Because all toxins burn off before lunchtime, you can just do water fasting. Sometimes you can use more serious types of fasting. Now we'll have questions and answers. Then I'll tell you about these types of fasting and why they are needed. Your questions? No, we need to turn on the microphone. The microphone won't turn on? The batteries must be dead. It's turning on.
I'm studying information about stroke. I wanted to know why such a large number of people face this.
Look, it's very simple. A person doesn't move. There are two types of immobility. If a person doesn't practice stationary position of the body, doesn't perform asceticism practice, then stiffness accumulates in their body. This stiffness leads to stiffness of blood vessels in the head, because nowadays people mainly do intellectual work. The energy goes to the part of the body which is being used. That's where diseases appear too. Stiffness in the head, in blood vessels, leads to their overstrain. Then a stroke happens. Or a person has weakness. Let's say they don't move. They need dynamic exercises. They don't move. Their blood vessels gradually become sluggish. People strain their head while working, and their vessels burst because they become weak. Stroke is simply a sign of aging. Like one of my acquaintances had a minor stroke, and he says, the reason for this is a night flight. Night flight causes stress which leads to the stroke. It's true that it's a stress for the brain, but I often fly on night flights. I don't have any strokes. Why? Because I move. I move enough for my body to become younger. When there is static movement and there is dynamic movement, there won't be any stroke at all. I stand on my head when I do yoga. I stand on my head for several minutes and it's fine. No strokes. Oh, you shouldn't do headstands at an older age. Well, at that age, you shouldn't even breathe, let alone do headstands.
Let me quickly ask one more question. Is it true that running on asphalt is worse than running on soil? That means that it's better to run somewhere in the forest on soil.
Yes, there are rumors that running on asphalt is harmful. And since there's asphalt everywhere, no soil, therefore running in general is harmful. Of course, it's better to run on soil because soil represents nature. But you see, if you run on asphalt, it's just slightly, maybe more harmful than running on soil. You see, when a person just runs, their joints start to hurt because they heal. People perceive this as a danger. They think that joints are wearing out, and therefore soon they will completely wear out, and you'll become immobile. This is nonsense. This is ignorance. When a person moves, the body starts to heal itself and it aches all the time. This is good, but you shouldn't run every day. For example, if a person runs for 50 minutes, they need to take a 3-day break. If they run for 35 minutes, they need a 2-day break. That means that the body needs to recover, then run again. You need to alternate dynamic exercises with static exercises. I run on asphalt, it's also fine. Running on asphalt is slightly worse than on soil. On soil, it's good. On asphalt, it's okay. And if you don't run at all, then it will be bad.
Thank you very much.
Your question, young man. Have you started doing what I told you? Has it become better? Thank God.
Hello. Thank you very much for this knowledge that you share. I have a question about running. I have scoliosis, and doctors say that running is not recommended in this case.
Even walking is dangerous for you, let alone running. Better not to walk either. Just sit all day and that's it.
That's what I do.
Good job.
Life is quite difficult for me.
Well, that's what I think too. Doctors just tell you what you want to hear, that's all. You have sluggishness in your body. You need dynamic exercises. You need to move. You need to run. Well, you won't be able to run right away because your body can't handle it now. You need to start with walking first, walk, and then run. Let's give the microphone to the young man I wanted to ask a question to in the 3rd row. You need to run, and then the scoliosis will go away. Scoliosis means tension in the spine. When you run, this tension will go away. When you move, your whole body relaxes. Doctors often have paradoxical thinking because they simply don't know life. You see, a doctor is someone who should heal primarily through nature, because pills don't really heal. They just freeze the body becomes stiff, they make it so that everything in the body doesn't function intensely. Let's say, at some company, employees started arguing and fighting with each other. A policeman came and said, "Stop," and everyone suddenly stopped, not arguing anymore. This is treatment with pills. Well, do you think when the policeman leaves, they won't continue arguing? The problem isn't solved. They will still argue later because the problem lies deeper. When a person is filled with nature, they achieve balance. And pills are like policemen who temporarily calm down the body. Do you understand the system? Your question.
Good evening, Dr. Torsunov. Thank you for the lecture. I want to ask for advice about a situation that my mother is facing. She has been working in medicine for 20 years. She used to work as a nurse, and now she's been working as a paramedic in an ambulance for 7 years. And during these 7 years, she's developed health problems. So she wants to continue working to help people and to accumulate work experience for a good pension.
Constant vibration from traveling, this vibration and working night shifts, all this destroys health. A healthy lifestyle is needed. Everything I'm talking about needs to be done alongside work, and she will recover, and so on. I haven't told you everything yet. There are still some main points, but you're already tired. There was a lot of information today. I'll continue tomorrow, okay? I'll tell you more about how to live correctly, but tomorrow we'll also talk about mental health, about character, and also a bit about physical health.
I want to clarify something else.
Well, look, her body is stiff, her head is tense, she has high blood pressure, body stiffness causes joint pain. You see, I understand your mother's condition well. She needs to start moving and start fasting. She's also overweight. She has excess weight. So her body will gradually loosen up and blood pressure will normalize from movement, from walking. And if she starts fasting and eating proper food, she needs to eat more greens now, then her metabolism will improve. But she won't listen to you, to your words. Because knowledge only comes through faith. If she had listened to this lecture herself, she might have believed then, because you don't have such faith, you don't have the power to practice all of this. Hundreds of people who listen to my lectures, they do what's needed and overcome their fate. I do this myself too. You don't have such power to transmit to her. Let her listen to this lecture.
Okay, thank you.
Well, okay, the girl in white who's smiling at me. When people smile at me, I can't help but give them the microphone.
Hello. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to ask a question. I'm very grateful for your lectures, thank you. My question is this. Today you talked a lot about going to the forest, about relaxing in nature. I live in a big city, and I also often go to the forest. But now I've taken up horseback riding. I go to the forest on horseback.
So the horse walks while you sit?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm asking about.
But the horse will be healthier if it walks in the forest. It will definitely be healthier.
But actually, horseback riding is also quite a serious physical exercise.
I know. And it's good. Horseback riding is good.
And I also do exercises in the forest. But when I'm with the horse, I get much more enjoyment from the forest. Maybe we're somehow together.
Love, a woman loves to love. But I constantly feel guilty that I'm taking it away from the field. No, the horse will be healthier from running around. There's nothing to fear in this case. Animals help humans relax. For example, why do they treat cerebral palsy with dolphins? Children are treated with dolphins and they get better. Because it's more expensive. But actually, cerebral palsy should be treated not with dolphins, but simply with large animals, like a cow. When a boy or girl has autism, they should simply be placed with an animal. It will relax them. The horse relaxes in the same way. Large animals have a lot of energy, and since they're domestic, they naturally love people. For example, a wolf won't relax a person, or a tiger. Why? Because they don't love people. They're wild animals, but domestic animals love people, and their energy is kind. Therefore, when you place a child next to a cow, they relax, then start speaking, their intellect begins to activate, and a horse relaxes in the same way. You are very tense.
That's my life, yes, big city.
And the horse relaxes you, whether it's a mare or stallion. Well, it's clear that a stallion is better for a woman, and a mare is better for a man.
Thank you.
Good question, yes. But don't forget to run yourself too. Otherwise, the horse will become healthy, but you won't.
Thank you for the lecture. Please tell me, how can one increase the earth element in the body?
Just walk or run on the ground. Go to the forest and run. Think about the earth. This is what you need to learn, to love the earth. For example, if you decide to go for a run, play a song in your headphones and run through the forest, and the earth's energy will go deep inside you. This happens through love. If you love the earth, then through love your sleep improves, you become calm inside, tension goes away. You understand? Through love. Similarly, there are songs like Blue Water, for example. You play this music by the sea, and it tunes you to the sea with love. Or, for example, there are songs that tune you to the forest when they're sung with love. Nature's energy is transmitted through love, only through love. If there's no love, nothing will be transmitted. Our hearts are like stone, atrophied. We can't love nature, that's why we can't love people. We don't have enough strength to love each other. Love comes from nature, from God. If we don't have it, it means we cannot love each other. We are weak. As one song says, sun, I believe there is sun in each of us. That means that for it to be in each of us, we first need to learn how to receive it. Here's a lady with light hair.
I wanted to ask, I have 2 questions. One about trees. I live in a village. I have many trees around me.
Do you have a calm temperament? Very calm. You have strong inner calmness. I can see this because you live in a place where there are many trees.
And I know it makes sense to be with trees, but what time is best to approach them?
It's always best to heal in the morning.
To any tree, right?
To any tree. It's always better to heal in the morning, but if you have trouble sleeping, there are trees that can help you sleep, relax. Such trees are spruce, linden, aspen, maple.
So, if there's no particular strong pain, then...
Pine, oak, poplar trees give willpower. Birch gives femininity. Birch heals women's diseases. Birch has strong water and earth energies. Willow and birch heal women's diseases. Pine heals the immune system. Oak gives calmness, firmness, and willpower.
Can women also stand under an oak?
Of course, if your husband is driving you crazy, go stand by an oak.
Tell me, when standing by a tree, should one pray or ask for something?
If you just stand there, nothing will happen. You need to either wish happiness to everyone or chant a prayer, because when a person just does something without purpose, nothing enters them. They become inert. Only through love can we contact this world. If I don't love people, I won't receive strength from them. If I don't love God, I won't receive strength from Him. If I don't love nature, I won't receive strength from it. A person must learn to love. To love means don't spare your heart, open it up. Don't be cold-hearted. Don't be afraid. Give yourself, rejoice.
Thank you. If joints start hurting when there's a lot of work to do. We have a pond. The water is very cold there. Is it possible to go into cold water with arthritis?
My dears, if your joints hurt, you need to walk. And then you can do whatever you want. For example, stay in cold water. Understand? If you don't walk or run, you won't heal your joints. It's very simple. Joints need movement. Joints hurt from insufficient movement. I've given such advice many times. Doctors say, if joints hurt, walk less. If the respiratory system hurts, breathe less. If eyes hurt, look less.
Thank you very much.
Tongue hurts, speak less. This is nonsense, absurd advice because the tongue is meant for speaking, eyes are meant for seeing, and legs are meant for walking. If a person stops performing some function, let's say, stops moving their arm. You know, in the operating room, sometimes a person doesn't move their arm for a month. Lying after surgery, their arm atrophies. Then they need to move it a lot to make it healthy again. This is easy to understand. Joints hurt, you need to walk and then they will heal. But don't walk fast. You need to walk slowly so they feel comfortable. Right here, look. Now, will you walk? Will you walk for a long time? No, you're afraid. I didn't ask in vain. She's afraid. This fear means unwillingness to live. A person is always afraid to do exactly what needs to be done. For example, for a guy to keep a girl for lifetime, he needs to overcome his fear, approach her and say, I love you. If he approaches boldly, she becomes confused. She understands that this is her person. But it's very difficult for him to approach her. Very difficult. This really needs to be done. It's very difficult, very difficult. But if he did it, then she becomes his person. This fear is everywhere. It means unwillingness to live. For example, when you enter the metro, it's somehow hard to smile. Or when you walk down the street, people are walking towards you. It's very difficult for you to rejoice at them, but you need to. This means desire to live. It always means overcoming yourself. I sometimes do this. When I check in at the airport, a lady gives me a ticket. I rejoice at her, I smile. And she puts on a serious face because she's working, but inside she's pleased. I had such a case where my friends have a dog, a huge dog. It doesn't bark sweetly like yap yap, but menacingly. Woof woof, such a huge dog, big. Well, that means a dog respecting itself. And it seriously guards the house. This is in Siberia, such a big dog guarding the house. I came to this house, looked into the dog's eyes, it barked, woof, because it needs to scare me since it's guarding the house, but I'm not scared. I look at it with love. And you know how it ended? It hid in its doghouse and barked from there. And when it saw me, when I would come out of the house where I was staying, it would immediately run behind the doghouse and peek out from behind it. Well, it liked me. I could feel it. But since the dog was on duty, it felt tension, stress, because I was making it feel uncomfortable with my love. But no one can defend against love if force is applied. Overcome your fear, and you will be healthy. Okay?
I will try.
Don't say I will try, say I will. To learn more on the subject of health and healing of the body, please make sure to read my health guide, available for download on my YouTube channel or on my Instagram page. Thank you very much, and see you soon.